Bryce Young is scheduled to go number 1 in the NFL draft this year, but there is some speculation that he might be too small. I wanted you to check out this article here on the New York Post. So Todd McShay, who is ESPN's NFL draft guru, along with he and Mel Kiper, was quoted in an interview by the New York Post here, which says, Bryce Young's height should scare the hell out of NFL general managers. And he goes on to say in this article that short quarterbacks in the NFL are two things that don't mix well. There are few exceptions in recent history. Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, and Kyler Murray, who the jury is still out on. However, Bryce Young, who is considered by most to be the number 1 quarterback in the NFL draft coming up, is not even 6 feet according to certain scouts who have actually measured him and told Todd McShay. Says, according to ESPN's Todd McShay, a scout told him that Young, listed at 6 feet tall, is actually 5'10 and a half, 2 full inches shorter than his 6-foot listing. I love Bryce Young, I really do, McShay says. I know he's only 195 pounds. A really good friend of mine who's a scout had him at 5'10 and a half. At 5'10 and a half and only 195 pounds, he's in that Kyler Murray area. That's small. That's really small. So as the NFL Combine begins to open, he's not even going to be there. He's going to wait for the Alabama Pro Day before he throws and works out for scouts. But already going into the scouting period, his numbers don't match up to what he's listed at. They say he's not 6 feet tall. How will this impact him? I don't know. Take a listen to what this guy says on the Pat McAfee show.
I don't want to harp on this because we've talked about it, but it is Combine Week, and he's potentially the number 1 overall pick. Bryce Young's talent outweighs his size?
Yeah, I think it does. You have to talk yourself into the size. And I've had buddies around the league, when you talk to him, they're like, dude, I know how much you love him, but you got to see him in person because you got to see it. He's just not big. But it would be one of those deals where the first time you pass him in the hallway, you're going to see coaches like, no way. There's no way. We can't do this. And then they're going to sit in the room with him. And they're going to listen to this guy talk ball, and he's going to talk about every protection that they're running. He's going to talk about where guys are coming from, and they'll be like, this guy's like a savant. And they're going,
really?
And then they'll change their tune.
He's sold. He believes that Bryce Young can compete in the NFL. Short height, light build and all, he still thinks that his mindset is what separates Bryce Young from the other quarterbacks in the NFL draft. Then I took a look at this video by Dan Orlovsky, where he talks specifically about how Bryce Young attacks the line of scrimmage and can see clearly and make the right calls, which echoes the sentiment of the guy that was talking on the Pat McAfee show. Take a look at this.
I understand that this kid's not big, but just watch everything that he does here. There's no peek to the sideline to get the information of what the play should be. And I'm not knocking those guys, but knowing all the things that he's looking at pre-snap right now and the way he handles it, ball out, rip, stop route perfect, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, just watch this from the jump, okay? Let's just watch this, okay? He gets to the line of scrimmage. Right now, he's communicating what protection is, okay? This is what we're doing with protection. This is what's good. Now he's telling the back, hey, we're going 1 to 2, or explaining to the back his responsibilities, okay? Now he's going to go through his cadence, gather information, okay? Gathers information because he sees this safety creep and just a little lean. Now I'm going to change the play. You guys are doing something different. Change the play, guys. Change protection, change the play, all that stuff. Not peeking to the sideline for the information. Hey, tight end, now you go in motion, all right? Communicate, all that stuff. Now, can you peek? Okay, he peeks down here, operates, sees one-on-one up top, stop route, ball out on time, just as the receiver's dropping his hips. You better throw this to his left shoulder, pull him to the sideline, man coverage. Absolutely lights out. I get it. He's not big. You're going to hear that for the next 2 months. Watch this operation. I mean, this is Sunday operation. This is big-time ball, man. Some owners are going to be okay with him, some aren't. But this kid's tape is spectacular.
So what do you think? Do you think that Bryce Young is too small to be an NFL quarterback? We've seen what's happened to Tua Tagovailoa over the last year. So is Bryce Young, coming from Alabama, going to be even more frail than Tua Tagovailoa? I don't know, but that's something that obviously NFL GMs are taking a look at, but it doesn't seem to be hurting his draft stock whatsoever. This kid's probably going to go number 1, number 2 at the worst. Let me know what you think about Bryce Young, an Alabama quarterback being drafted in the NFL. Talk to you soon.